Let's see. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hey, Octavia. Octavia says, hello, excited for this recap. Excited for you guys to be here. Hey, Elijah. What's going on? Hey, Lee. Lee got a new photo. Excuse me, Lee. Okay. Destiny says, I hope it's live. Hey, Destiny, it's live. And if you're a member of the channel, you'll have first access to the call-in number today, so you can call in and share your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Dubai. We have to also talk about Nene Leakes possibly returning to the network. We have to talk about Dr. Nicole possibly not returning to Real Housewives of Miami. And yes, Real Housewives of Miami is going to start filming if they haven't started filming yet. So we have to talk about that. We are live here on Hump Day, Wednesday, September 11th. Yeah, September 11th. Let's get into this countdown, and then let's get into our recap of the Real Housewives of Dubai Season 2 Reunion Part 1. Part 1.
Here we go now.
La 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 la. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Dubai. There's only one more episode to the Real Housewives of Dubai for season 2. No word on a season 3. Some people are speculating based off of the ratings that they won't be getting a season 3. I don't know about that. I just also don't know. They could always put it on pause. I don't think they should put it on pause. A lot of you really enjoyed season 2 better than season 1. I can't tell from the ratings, but you just never know. You just never know. First of all, guys, don't forget to let me know where you're watching from and how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai, part 1 of their reunion. I watched it twice. Such a harsh reality says we was worried about you, Kemp. Sorry. Look, I'm always doing the things. Just let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I had to keep the air conditioner on because it's hot in here in New York. It's like 80 degrees. I know that's not hot in comparison to California, but it's still warm for fall. But it's not officially fall just yet. Okay. Ooh, T says the reunion was boring. I don't know if I would say that the Real Housewives of Dubai reunion was boring. But I went through part 1 and I watched it again in the Peacock version with the cuss words and everything. And I'm not going to say that it was boring, but it was interesting to me enough. Like, I wasn't bored, but at the same time, I'm sort of like, okay, what happened? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Daddy said part 1 was a letdown. And you already know what part 2 is going to be about. It's going to be all about Lisa and Ayan's friendship and what happened there. All right, so before we get into the actual reunion, you know, we did a separate video talking about the reunion fashions, and I'll let you guys know the fashions. And I always tell you, once we watch the reunion, the fashions take on a different life because now we see it in movement. And for me, when you see it in movement, it makes a big difference. When you get to see them in 3D, it makes a big difference. So before we even get to the reunion looks and how they moved, the reunion set, first of all, we have to remember the same production company that produces Real Housewives of Dubai produces Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac. I have to say this reunion set reminded me of Real Housewives of Atlanta season, what was it, season 14? It wasn't last season. I think it was season 14 when they were on that little bed of water, like a little island of water. I was like, this kind of reminds me of that set. Both were gorgeous. Both were gorgeous, but that's what it reminded me of. And I love the unification of the different shades of red. I think that works. Beverly Hills, Orange County, take note. Production, what are you guys doing? I know they make a lot of money and I know they're rich, but I don't care. I want to see unification in the looks and the color. Just saying. Anyway, IG Blaze says, Lisa was my least favorite look. Really? Honestly, I wasn't sure how I would feel about Lisa's look after seeing it in motion, just because seeing it in not motion was stunning and still was stunning for me. And I will say, seeing her sit there, statuesque, and her just sort of like looking just at the camera, I was like, she looks stunning. I know some of you didn't love her hair. I don't know why. I think it worked perfect for this outfit. She looks like a freaking Oscar. Damn, where's my Oscar? She really does. She looks like an award. I thought she looked stunning. I mean, it wasn't probably practical for her. She said she could barely move, but sometimes that's what you have to do for fashion. I'm just saying. I will say everyone, even after seeing them in movement, I will say everyone still fell in line with where I rated them last time when we talked about their reunion looks. I probably liked, I still liked Lisa's look. Let me see, who else did we have here? Stanbury's look, still stunning. I can tell that this picture definitely had a little bit of Facetune. Her face is still looking great. I know Lisa did not want to give her the credit because Lisa was just like, yeah, it's okay. it just irks her to do any compliment for Caroline Stanbury. But this picture definitely had a little Facetune because seeing it in real life, it still looked better than what it was. However, yeah, this picture is definitely Facetuned, okay? All right. Taleen, I have to say the outfit looked better in motion in real life. I really do. Okay, my MVPs of the reunion might surprise you because my MVPs for the season versus my MVPs for the reunion are very different. My MVP for the reunions have to be Sarah and Taleen. Come on. Wait, where's my... Yes. And you want to know why? Because this is Taleen's first reunion, and I have to say, I know she was interrupting a lot and getting involved in conversations, but I appreciate it because some people were too silent. People that needed to be speaking up and being clear. I appreciated that she kind of was like getting the point across. I will give Taleen, she had a solid, like we had our moments, our up and down moments with Taleen during the season, but I have to say for a newbie, she was solid. I didn't look at Taleen this season and say, don't come back. I thought she was solid, and I felt like she held her own without being uncontrollable at the reunion, despite Lisa telling Andy, I know this is her first reunion, but she needs to understand how this works. No, there are no rules. We know OGs that still do not follow those rules. We know OGs that don't follow those rules. So I was okay with Taleen getting involved in the conversation because honestly, some of these people were too quiet. For the most part, I felt like a lot of these people that should have been getting their point across were. Did you guys notice that Brooks, why were you could you not move your neck? Were you in pain or something? For some reason, her face would not go like direct. Every once in a while it would, but for the most part, all I saw was profile. And originally, based off of Brooks's picture, I thought her hair was short. But no, she had it long. No, Brooks, you should have had it short, right to the shoulder. It looked a little sloppy. You looked a little unfinished in the real world. Like, I like the look in this picture, but then seeing you in real life, it was sort of like you looked beautiful. The skin was skinning, cheekbones were cheekboning. I wish the hair was a little bit shorter. And just a little bit more groomed because it felt a little it felt a little like maybe that was intentional to kind of give like a ba 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 boom. I know she was trying to go for Jessica Rabbit here, but I have to say I think maybe you could have used maybe some chandelier earrings or a beautiful necklace. That's just after seeing it in real life. But the entire time I thought you would be more comfortable based off your look. And it felt like you were uncomfortable the entire time. Like you were just looking this way, and then you would tell Taleen to shut the F up. And I'm like, oh, okay. The first part of the reunion was really mostly about Brooks and Taleen. The majority. Yes, we had little things of Ayan and Lisa, but the majority of part one was about Taleen and Brooks and a little bit about Stanbury. All right. We already knew the seating chart. How did you guys feel about the seating charts based off of what you've seen so far? I felt like the seating chart made sense based off of where these friendships were at the moment. And it looks like Sarah and Brooks are still in a decent place. So that's good. So it made sense. But you know who my other MVP for the reunion, for Real Housewives of Dubai's reunion? Sarah. Not Sarah Alfredani. I'm playing I'm sorry, Sarah, but people like to call her a fraud, but she was the truth teller at this reunion. She was the truth teller at this reunion. Come on. You know she was. For me, she was the truth teller. There were a couple of times where she came in and cleared up people's truth, and it didn't matter what side of it she was on. So when they were talking about Taleen having a breakdown over the VJJ gate, and Brooks was like, you fell on the floor and you did this. And well, Sarah's like, okay, she was crying and she was very upset and bothered by what Stanbury was saying. And then they showed unseen footage to prove that. Not Brooks getting vindicated. Brooks was vindicated. Come on. Applause. She was vindicated. Okay? Tress says, but lying about Akeem. Shut up. We didn't get to Akeem. I guess next week they're going to really try and jam-pack everything in there. Anyways. Exactly. Nasra says, oh, that's a beautiful photo. Nasra says Sarah was objective. Yes. So for me, that's why she was the MVP, one of the MVPs for part one. So she corrected Brooks, but still corrected Taleen. Like, you were very upset. I'm all over the place right now, but I'll get back into the line of how everything played out in the reunion. And then she also called out Lisa. She was just like, well, Lisa, you were saying things about Brooks too. And all the men and the things and things like that. Okay, we'll get back to that. All right, so let me start at the top. But before we get to that, guys, yesterday we dropped a video telling you that Nene Leakes will be returning to NBCU. Well, Nene Leakes took to her social media to announce that she will be co-hosting this after party for the Emmys red carpet this Sunday. And everyone was like, Nene Leakes is going to be on E, the same network that's owned by NBC Universal, the same network that she sued like 2-3 years ago for racial discrimination? That network? And then Nene, in her original post, she didn't add this. She added this later because she saw everyone reacting. She's like, it's nice to be back with my NBC fam. And then everyone was like, okay, what does this mean? Well, I told you what I thought it meant in the video I posted yesterday. So be sure to check out that video if you haven't seen it. But I will say, this is strategic on everyone's part. I believe if Nene's returning to the network, they've finished mediation. They figured that out. There's no way that she would be arriving on anyone's red carpet if that mediation wasn't complete. And I think this is them sort of testing the waters about Nene returning to the network. A network that's been facing a lot of discrimination and accusations and lawsuits by their former employees. So why not get one of the biggest and the loudest and the most popular employee to come back? And word on the street, you heard that Kenya Moore, who was, or decided, whatever you want to believe, left at the top of season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Word on the street is that she was moving forward with her own lawsuit. So please understand, I wouldn't be surprised that NBC is like, well, let's get the other black girl who accused us of discrimination and bring her back to the network to debunk any of these other discrimination stuff. Come on. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that this is fact. This is my speculation. This is my speculation. I also saw in the comments section of one of Nene's posts, I think it was that post that she posted, where Chanel Ayan was like, come to Dubai, I miss you. Because, you know, they've become friendly. So a lot of people were like, yes, come to Dubai. Like, they want to see her on the Real Housewives of Dubai. I'm okay with that because it seems like she's really formed a friendship with the Dubai ladies. So why not? At least Nene will give us a moment. Phaedra's just going to give us, ooh, yes. I will give it to Phaedra. She made me laugh in this clip I saw when they were talking about Anna Delvey, you know, the scammer that still has the foot monitor on her, and she's on Dancing with the Stars. She was like, well, at least I forgot what she said exactly. I don't want to mess it up, but she basically was saying that at least they will know she is at all times. Anyways, I mean, Phaedra's funny when she's not talking about her own personal life, okay? Anyways. But I say all that to say, be sure to check out the video that I did talking about Nene Leakes and her return this weekend to the NBCU network via E! Network. All right? All right. We will get to some more other news, but I want to get back into the Real Housewives of Dubai. If you just joined us, guys, we are recapping part one of the Real Housewives of Dubai. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Yeah, so I got to see everyone's outfits in real life, based off of the reunion. I have to say, Chanel's look definitely was giving. I think it was still solid. There was no... Okay, Sarah, although you were my MVP in part one, why was Sarah slouching back like like this? Did y'all notice that she was slouching back like this? Slouching back. I was like, a lady doesn't sit like that. A lady doesn't sit like that. Sit up, Sarah. She's like lounging back. Like, sit up. Come on. My goodness. Just saying. Oh. Did you notice that? I noticed it. You know the things that I noticed. Anyways, let me open up my notes. Where are my notes? Where did we start in this reunion? Okay, we talked about that. We talked about that. Fine. So as soon as the ladies arrive onto the reunion set and they're seeing where they're seated, Ayan whispers under her breath to Stanbury that that Lisa says she would do anything to sit next to Andy Cohen, even throw her best friend under the bus. I told you, I don't believe this fight, even though Lisa says during the reunion that part of the issue that she and Ayan have is because of Stanbury. I don't believe it's that. I really don't believe it has anything to do with Stanbury. I think all of these people, because you know last week I talked about the reaction to Stanbury and Ayan at BravoCon, not this last one, but the previous one. Well, let me tell you what I thought of the Real Housewives of Dubai panel last BravoCon, about a year ago. It's almost a year ago since the last BravoCon. I did notice that Ayan's posture during that BravoCon panel was very different. And I know she always has an ego and she's always uplifting herself, and we all know where that comes from. And I always told you, I'm not going to tell people not to, especially a black woman, not to feel themselves and uplift themselves. But I noticed something during that panel. I noticed something. She was definitely different than the first panel. And I do believe when you get this level of success and you get this level of love, you want to maintain that. You want people to still love you that way. But for those that have followed Bravo for a very long time, what we understand is that there are highs and lows to being a fan favorite. 1 minute you're a fan favorite, the 1 minute you're the villain. All right? And sometimes they make you out to be the villain based off an edit. And this is why I always remind you guys, you're watching an edited show. Don't really base how you feel about these people off of a show. All right? Nasra says Ayan was feeling herself. Funky says Ayan is drinking the hype juice and it may not end well. Maybe. But I also believe that because of the reaction of fans to Ayan, I think that affected the entire group. For those that did not expect that, including production, they didn't expect Ayan to be a fan favorite. They didn't expect people to react because they never know. They never know how people are going to react to a particular housewife. Like they didn't know how people are going to react to Taleen. But I have to say, there are people that don't like Taleen, but there are also people that don't like Ayan. There are people that love Lisa. There are people that don't love Lisa. Honestly, based off of because I don't know these people, but based off of what I've watched, I like them all for different reasons. I can really say that there's no one on this cast that I don't like. I know people believe I don't like Stanbury, but Stanbury also makes me laugh here and there. I got something for Stanbury later, though. Oh, no, it's not really you, Stanbury. It's not your fault. But there's no one on this cast. Okay, there's one person. I like her, but I also think she's dangerous. I also think she's dangerous. I also think she's dangerous. Brooks. I like Brooks. However, look, I think she's dangerous because I think she's a liar. I think she is fiddling behind the scenes, doing bad things. And I said that last season, and I feel like she's doing it again this season. And this union between Lisa and Brooks, we know it's an alliance. However, that's not the only alliance that I noticed during part 1 of the reunion. That's not the only alliance. But I could tell from Lisa's face. Lisa, you can't even hide your disdain for Brooks. I know you try to have her back. But you couldn't even hide your disdain. Pay attention to Lisa's face throughout the reunion. Even when Brooks was trying to talk to her, she's just like this. Just looking at the camera, just like, oh, goodness. Hey, Shireen from London. Shireen says, me too, Kempire. I like them all for different reasons. Me too. Special K says, I like this cast. I just feel like some of the things that I see Brooks doing, especially on social media, and I've called you out, Brooks, multiple times over the last couple of weeks, some of the things that you've said on social media, and I know you think you can just say those things and then all of a sudden be friends with people. I think some of your behavior is very Lisa Rinna, and that's not a good thing. But that same energy that we see from Brooks during the season and in her confessionals, we don't see at this reunion. Brooks is very I don't know what it is. Both her and Lisa were very for me, Lisa, though, was controlled. Brooks seemed, what's the word? Look. I think Lisa is controlled, I probably would be too. I'm not going to let you see me sweat. But Brooks was giving, I can say a lot of stuff about you on, she's Twitter, she's a keyboard gangster. A confessional gangster. But in person, it's not that same energy. That's what I was getting. But all right, so Andy goes around to the group. Hey, how you been? Da-da-da. Sheree, Bravo has no respect for you. They have no respect for you. I love that Lisa Milan moment from BravoCon when she said, is it Alexander McQueen or Alexander Sheen? But the fact that Bravo decided to talk about it again a year later, almost a year later, they have no respect for the OG, Real Housewives of Atlanta OG, Sheree, she by someone else, Sheree Whitfield. They have no respect for you. The fact that they brought that up again a year later, they don't respect you. You think they would have done that to Nene Leakes? There ain't no way. But I mean, look, it was a gag though, Lisa. It was. You know what else was a gag? I'm just going to jump around. This is my review. When they were talking about Ayan's age, and everyone was like, oh, Ayan looks good for her age. And Andy looks to Lisa. She's like, you've known her the longest. What do you think? And she was like, I wrote it down because I thought it was hilarious. Because Lisa, you ain't right. Lisa says, hold on. Lisa reacts to her age. So she says, she looks her age. She's like her age. She looks it. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. She's like her age. She looks her age. She looks it. I don't know if anyone else caught that besides Brooks. It was just like, damn. come on now. Let's be honest. Ayan looks good, whatever age she might be. I mean, but that's the thing with Lisa. Lisa can't help. If she doesn't like you, or you're not in a good place with her, she can't help but be like, I'm not giving you anything. The same with Caroline Stanbury. I don't love Caroline Stanbury all the time, but I've told you multiple times. I said whatever work she got done looks good. Looks good. Okay. Funky says Sheree doesn't respect herself. Why return with fake storylines and a fashion show with no fashions? No, she had a fashion show with fashions. It's just she didn't own it, allegedly. All right. Oh, thank you. Heine says, good theory regarding Nene Kempire. Thank you so much. Hey, OMFG Reality TV. If you guys are not watching or following them, you should. They're always posting great clips from some of your favorite reality TV shows. Follow them on Twitter and also follow them on Instagram. I do. Okay, let me get back to my notes because there's so much more that I want to talk about. Shout out to everyone watching on multiple platforms, including Twitch, Twitter, TikTok behind the scenes here, and those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you guys. All right. Let me see what else I wanted to say. So let me get back in order. So Andy's talking to everyone, blah, 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 fine. I have to say, normally they follow the rules of, we'll unpack everyone's storyline personally, but they're sort of like just packing like certain moments throughout the season versus like, oh, this is Caroline Stanbury's storyline. All right. So they start asking, like, who is mostly bothered by Ayan and Stanbury's friendship, Brooks or Lisa? And Taleen says that she feels like Brooks is the most bothered and that Brooks loves seeing the demise of Ayan and Lisa's friendship. I know it's been a couple of months since the beginning of the season of Dubai, but we have to remember Brooks was not friendly with Ayan and Lisa at the top of the season. She didn't invite them to the Glass House grand opening. And honestly, I don't even feel like they really even still like each other, all three of them. I think they have their moments. Because look, didn't we see Chanel and Brooks getting along at the top of the season? I mean, like on social media, only for them to not be getting along now? Okay, fine. And I agree with Taleen. I do believe that Brooks reveled in the demise of Ayan and Lisa's friendship. I do. All right. What else did I write down here? Oh, so then they start talking about how did this friendship begin between Ayan and Stanbury. And Stanbury says, we were stuck on a plane after the reunion and we had a conversation. And they realized that they had a lot more in common than they did not. Do you believe that? I will say this. I believe that they have a friendlyshipness. I think for the sake of the show, they decided to at least try and get along. And I think after trying to get along, I think production stepped in and said, you guys are the stars of this show, the faces of this show. They didn't, they thought people would love Caroline Stanbury, and people did, but Ayan was a breakout star. I believe production and the network stepped in. We want to see you guys get along next season. And I think because they were forced to come together, they were like, oh, you're not so bad. And that is what ended up having this friendship. Do I think that they're a dynamic duo? No, I'm not going to say I sit here and I enjoy their friendship. I don't not enjoy it. Look, I don't not enjoy it. It's not bad, but it's not what people try to make it out to be. Like, oh my God, the dynamic duo. I don't get that from Caroline Stanbury and Ayan hanging out. Me personally, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't get dynamic duo. But I do enjoy them individually. I think Stanbury's funny. I think Ayan is funny in a different way. Do I think that Ayan and Lisa are a dynamic duo? Not necessarily a dynamic duo, but their friendship feels real in a way. And I would like to see that come back together and then be friends. But again, I know we would like certain things to happen, but in real life, some relationships have a season. I don't know if that can happen. If it can happen naturally and be real, great. But don't do it just for the sake of the show. Because if you do it for the sake of the show, we're all going to sense that. We're all going to sense that. But they did have a friendship, so why not? Why not? All right. Anyways, what else did I want to say about this scene? Let me look at my notes. Oh, so Lisa says that Ayan felt so uncomfortable initially hanging out with Caroline Stanbury. She said Lisa personally did not feel away. She was just like, Ayan was telling me that, she was really downplaying whatever was happening with Caroline Stanbury. So she didn't feel insecure about their friendship. That's what Lisa said. She didn't feel insecure. Despite how the edit showed Lisa's face these last, and they showed clips of Lisa, don't take my best friend. But I took Lisa saying that being facetious. Do I think that in some way Lisa might have felt a little bit of a way? I do, because some people are territorial about their friendships. I'm not like that with my friendships. I'm not territorial about my friendships, not that I can think of. But some people really are territorial about their friendships, and they don't want to see that happening. However, I always have to remind you, we're watching a reality show, and what they're fighting about isn't always what they say they're fighting about. Because part of me is wondering if what they're fighting about isn't just about Ayan's friendship with Stanbury, or is it something associated with the show? You get what I'm saying? We have to just keep that in mind, especially when Ayan is saying, "Oh, Lisa wanted to sit next to Andy this season." As long as the check clears, like I don't get the big deal about sitting next to Andy, but whatever. We'll get to Andy in a second. We got something for you, Andy. But Lisa shares a text message with Andy Cohen because she claims that Ayan told her that she felt uncomfortable hanging out with Caroline Stanbury. But the text message didn't necessarily say that. It basically confirmed what Ayan and Caroline Stanbury said about their friendship in the beginning. I was like, all right. But things get a little heated between Ayan and Lisa, because Lisa calls Ayan a professional victim. She said, "Not a villain playing a victim." I thought that was funny. Not the villain playing a victim. But here's the thing. Clearly, I think by now we all know calling Ayan a victim is triggering to her. We saw this at the top of the season with her and Sarah. All right? She later explains why she doesn't like when people call her a victim. But did you guys notice that Stanbury was just telling Ayan to calm down, calm down, calm down? She's doing that on purpose. And clearly, I think even if Stanbury didn't say that, if you're watching it, that's your best friend. Your best friend's going to know what triggers you and what's going to annoy you. And clearly, that's what Lisa wanted to do. That's what Lisa was like, all right, victim, professional victim. And Ayan was like, why are you letting people know what bothers you? Now, everybody on social media is going to hit you up and like, hey, victim. Hey, maid. I'm sorry. Jocelyn Hernandez. Hey, maid. Hey, victim. Like, why are you making people see you sweat? But I will say this, because they do end up talking about Ayan's FGM and how she shared on the show. So Andy asked her for an update on that and, people's reaction and people in her community's reaction to it. And she says that's part of the reason why she doesn't like being called a victim. And then Lisa's like, don't associate what I'm calling you a victim about to the FGM situation. However, I will say this, Lisa, we can't tell somebody what's going to trigger them for what not going to trigger them. Although you did not mean it in regards to her FGM, if you're calling her a victim and she associates it with her FGM, that's how she feels. We can't tell her not to feel that way about calling her a victim. I just wish she wouldn't let people see her sweat and let people know that that's what triggers her. And that's what Stanbury, who's also a Taurus like me, because it must be a Taurus thing, just like, girl, calm down. Stop letting people know that triggers you. But if something triggers you, we can't stop people from reacting to something that triggers them. Especially when she described what that experience was like, her FGM experience. That will forever trigger someone. That's horrendous. That's horrific. That is traumatic. Ooh, Carell says that Lisa may be in her villain era. Hey, Dark and Lovely. Oh, Trauma Queen says Lisa's a weirdo. I don't get her. Damn, really? Chandler says all Lisa's on the show are villains. Do you think that Lisa's the villain? Look. Well, she did call Ayan the villain playing victim. Or is Ayan the villain? Here I go twerking on a fence. Guys, you're just joining us. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And don't forget, our friends over at Rose Forever are still sponsoring this month the channel. You should get something for yourself. I was just FaceTiming with one of my life coaches, and they saw my beautiful Rose Forever roses behind me. They're like, oh my God, I need to order some. And I was like, yeah, use my referral link. They ship worldwide, and you will have roses for at least a year. They have all kinds of beautiful arrangements, and of course, they have stellar deals going on right now. And a bunch of new things are available on their website. Head on over to the description for more details on how you can get some Rose Forever for yourself and for your family. And for those that still want to get something from Coldest, first of all, I've been seeing a lot of videos lately saying stop drinking things out of plastic. Put them in glass or metal like this. And this will keep your water cold for 36 plus hours. They don't just have water bottles though at Coldest. They have sheets. They have things for your pets. Head on over to coldest.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. Thank you, Coldest. You know always I got my Coldest right here. Shout out to our King's Guards holding us down in the live chat. And a reminder, guys, there are still fake Kempires in the comments section. Please do not engage, do not interact. I am not telling you to call me now. No, that's not me. You'll see a check mark next to my name, but again, if I'm interacting with you, you'll know the difference. Do not fall for it, all right? Do not fall for it. All right. Ateka, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She says, Lisa's not a villain if she never wanted Ayan to fight on camera. I don't think she's a villain either. I don't know. You know who the villain is? Come on now. Brooks. Brooks is the villain, but she leans into her villainhood. I wish she would lean into it during the reunion. She has so much mouth on Twitter, so much mouth in her confessionals, but she was mute during the reunion. I mean, she did talk, but for all that mouth, you think she would have a lot more to say. Hey, Ronnie. Nice new picture. Ronnie says, Ayan is still the star of the show. Damn. Oh, Mr. Melon Magic. Shut up. Mr. Melon Magic says the fake Kempire is Carlos King. No, it's not. Okay. Leave Carlos alone. Okay. Oh my goodness. G Brilliant says, Kempire, did you see what Lisa posted about Ayan? No. I'm tired of them and their Twitter fingers. I'm tired of it. If you didn't have this much energy during the reunion, what's the point? What's the point? I'm tired of all their Twitter fingers. Everybody on Twitter want to post things now. Where was this during the reunion? Post it then. Look, post it then. Anyways. Hey, Train with Maine. Look at Train with Maine with the new profile picture. I need to train with Maine. Train with Maine says, Lisa is not the villain, but producers definitely want us to believe she is. All right. Mickey says that Brooks was sober. Well, they talk about that too. They talk about Brooks and her drinking. I guess I should jump to that. Should I just jump to that? Let me see where my notes are before I jump to that. We already talked about Lisa reacting to Ayan's real age and the shade that she said there. Lisa would not give Stanbury any credit for her new facelift. Brooks responds to her throwing shade in regards to Ayan's event. Brooks, you clearly in your confessional were trying to make it seem like Tony Malt, Ayan's partner and celebrity makeup artist, you were trying to make it seem like that business was all Tony, but she was backpedaling during this reunion like it was like, oh no, I love Tony, I just wanted to highlight Tony. You are such a liar. You are a liar. The fact that you tried to get away with it, Ayan couldn't even find the words But luckily, Taleen was just like, no, you knew what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were trying to say. You were shading and you were making it seem like Tony, you weren't just trying to highlight Tony like because you love Tony. I agree. And Andy, you're such a terrible host. You watched the episode too. Why wouldn't you call her out? Andy was falling for it too. He's like, oh, you were just saying that you love Tony. That's not what she was doing. Look, that's not what she was doing. She clearly was trying to shade Ayan and making it seem like Ayan she was just the face of the business. Very much like a lot of these housewives are when it comes to these businesses that you swear that they own. A lot of them don't own it. I'm not talking about these ladies, but some of these other housewives on other cities, they don't own these businesses. They're just a face. They're just a face. But anyways. So they talk a little bit about that. Ayan talks about being called a victim and talking about her FGM trauma. And she says that's why she doesn't like it when Lisa calls her a victim. And then Lisa's like, that's not what I'm associating this with. All right. Then they get into an argument about Ozempic. And I know that's what you guys are talking about. Apparently, Lisa may have posted receipts that Ayan was on Ozempic. Look, everybody on and Housewives basically is on Ozempic. So Ayan calls Lisa out. She's like, when you're on Ozempic, you end up crying a lot. I didn't know that. I'm not on Ozempic. But Lisa said, oh, you should know, you introduced me to it. Ayan does say that, like, oh, I did. And she's like, and you were on it too. And that's when Ayan was like, I was on it? First of all, Ayan has been skinny since the day we met her. I can't imagine Ayan being on it. However, I just thought that was just like, Andy was like, are we fighting about Ozempic? Yes, Andy, we're fighting about Ozempic right now. Fine. I don't know why that would be an argument. Anyways, if she introduced you to it and you're using it, okay, fine. Look, fine. Fine, I guess. Look, I guess. All right. Caroline Stanbury and Caroline Brooks and their issues during the season. So they talk about the JJ Gate. For those that don't know what the JJ Gate, that was at the top of the season. Stanbury apparently called Brooks and said at the Beyonce concert, Taleen was such a mess. Sergio saw her vajayjay, and if this is how she's going to be, I don't think she'd be a good fit for Real Housewives of Dubai. This is what Brooks alleged, all right? So Brooks claims that she was just being a good friend, and she was defending her friend against Stanbury. But Stanbury was like, I never made it a big deal. You brought it here. You made a big deal about it, and you made it a big deal longer than it needed to be. Well, I have to say Brooks was somewhat vindicated here, Taleen. I will say that Brooks was somewhat vindicated because they showed that never-seen footage of you guys at Taleen's place, and Taleen was heartbroken about it. She wasn't on the floor. This is where Sarah stepped in. She was like, Taleen, you were very upset about it, and you were crying. She wasn't on the floor crying, but she was definitely upset about it. And they show the footage that Taleen was crying and upset about Stanbury talking about her for JJ. And not being a good fit for the show. Maybe. So Brooks was somewhat vindicated there. One lie out of how many lies Brooks was vindicated. Yay! Like, yay! But then they start talking about Brooks and her drinking during the season. So, again, Lisa and Brooks clearly have an alliance. Lisa says Brooks is a lightweight. She's slurring after one drink. I don't drink, y'all, like this. I drink back in the day, but not like that, okay? Are you slurring, even as a lightweight, are you slurring after one drink? And look, Brooks, apparently producers told Brooks too, like, yeah, you're a bit of a lightweight. You shouldn't drink more than one drink. Because we saw Brooks slurring during her confessionals, being very messy during scenes. Multiple times during the season, and a lot of people said, oh, it's the edit. We told Brooks last season, stop drinking so much during filming. They accused her, Taleen accused her of being an alcoholic. She did apologize during the reunion for saying that, and she says she doesn't believe that Brooks is an alcoholic. I'm not going to say that Brooks is an alcoholic because I'm not an expert in that field. However, I do think Brooks drinks a lot more than they're giving her credit. All right? A lot more than one drink. A lot more than one drink. And we told Brooks We told Brooks last season, stop drinking because you're giving them the ammo to use your drinking on the show. And she's drinking in her confessionals. And she did the same thing this season. Fine. Look, fine. So they talk about that. Taleen apologizes and says she doesn't think that Brooks is an alcoholic. Brooks is just like, I don't drink like that. Producers even said that, one drink, and the second and the third drink, I'm a mess. Okay, Brooks, we'll run with that narrative. We'll run with that narrative. Okay, fine. I don't know if I believe that, but fine. All right. So Brooks also talked about her healing journey. Stanbury says that Brooks threatened to sue she threatened to sue the healers, and they said they never saw someone ask for their money back because Brooks only went for one session. And she says she wants her money back. She did get her money back though. This is the first time anyone has asked this person, a healer, for a refund in 30 years. I find that hard to believe. I don't know if I believe that. Then they end up talking about Michael, Stanbury's best friend. I think I met Michael at the first BravoCon. I know I definitely saw him there at BravoCon. So Michael, apparently when he was tipsy or drunk, told Ayan and told Brooks that he was paying for all the bills. He was paying for all of Stanbury's bills. Stanbury claims when she had a conversation with Michael, she says that, what did Stanbury say? Stanbury said Michael said that he made a poor joke. Ayan, in her confessional during the season, had a little salad. Look. Ayan says during the season that that's what Michael said, that he's paying for all their bills. Now at the reunion, Ayan is backpedaling because that's another alliance, her and Stanbury, is backpedaling, saying that they try to make it nice. It's like, oh, well, he was upset. They were staying in his home and he was paying for the maid and he was paying for that. So that's what he was referring to. Brooks was like, well, that's not what he said to me when he was drunk. He said that he was paying for all of their bills. And then here's where you lost me, Ayan. Ayan was like, oh, there's no way he could pay for all of her bills. It's Dubai. Dubai is expensive. I don't know Michael's money, but apparently Michael has money. But I always know the money in Dubai is funny for some people. For the people that come there, the money's funny. Okay, not the Emiratis. With that, But I don't know what Michael does. I don't remember if we ever found out what he does. But I believe Michael because the brown juice is the truth serum, and I believe he said what he said. And I believe because of this new friendship between Ayan and Stanbury, Ayan was like, "I'm gonna have your back," instead of just telling the truth. I don't care if we're friends. You got to be able to handle the truth when I'm going to tell the truth. Very much like what Sarah's doing, telling the truth. And I know people wouldn't expect her to tell the truth because, people like to call her a fraud. But she's telling the truth. I wish Ayan in this moment was like, this is what he said to me. Maybe he was joking, but that's what he said to me. You trying to defend, oh, you can't pay for anyone's bills in Dubai, all of their bills in Dubai. And then Stanbury was like, he doesn't pay all of my bills. Okay, girl. Okay, fine. Winter says Michael just wants a moment. That can be true, too. That can be true. I do feel like Michael did want to have a moment. The gays. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We have 800 of you guys here. Hey, how you doing? Don't forget to like the video. We will be dropping the call. Matter of fact, let me drop the call link now for members first. If you're a member of the channel, become a member today at TeamKempire.com/join. Okay. Let me just drop the call link now for members first. It's not a part of your membership, but we made it a part. Look, we made it a part unofficially. Okay. So if you're hold on. Call in link. Okay, members, we dropped the call-in link. Sidebar. I did want to take a moment and just say prayers to anyone that may have lost someone in September 11th. Today marks the 23rd anniversary of the horrific moment in American history in regards to September 11th and all of the lives that were lost. I passed the World Trade Center Memorial multiple times during the week, but this week as I was passing by, I really took a moment just to solidify, pray, and just take in the energy of that space. Because when you think about the amount of people that died there, and I always tell you, and I said this in a post on the community tab, energy never dies. It just changes form. So your loved ones are still with us in some shape or form. So prayers to anyone that may have lost someone during that horrific time in American history. All right. Ronnie says Michael's loving his 5 minutes of fame. I mean, look, I guess. I mean, we did get to see him during the season. He has a beautiful home. Who said, Kalam, who said that Michael's pimping out Sergio? Anyways, we're going to leave that alone. Are you calling, not Madam Stanbury? Come on, no. Not Madam Stanbury. Oh my God. Oh, Unique says, my son was 3 weeks old on 9/11/2001. He's now 23. Oh my God, that's so crazy. Winter says, if Michael wants to pay bills, he can pay mine. Same, Michael. But that's the thing. If someone's paying your bills, they want something in return. And I don't know what that is that they're getting in return, because y'all have started something else in the chat. And I don't know what that is, but I don't know. I much rather pay my own bills. Okay? Lala says, you did in my Mia voice. I do have that soundbite. Oh, Lord. Look, hold on.
Who said that? When did she say that? You did.
All right. Moving on. Move on. All right. If you're a member of the channel, we dropped the call and link for members. Live chat. Let's get to 300 likes, and I'll drop the call and link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Dubai, or you can share your thoughts on Nene Leakes possibly returning to NBC Universal. Not possibly. She is returning this weekend to the E! Network. Sidebar, before we continue with our Real Housewives of Dubai talk, word on the street is that Real Housewives of Miami is going to be starting to film this week. But the news came out that Dr. Nicole may not be returning. Wait, hold on. Let me give you this, because according to page 6, they have the tea, y'all. This is what page 6 is saying in regards to Real Housewives of Miami. First of all, we've been missing Miami, and a lot of people were wondering, is Miami not coming back? And I told you, no, it's definitely coming back. But I think because of scheduling, that Bravo scheduling is all over the place this season, that they put it on pause, like real pause, not the pause that they like to talk about in everything else. They put it on pause to start filming later. Since then, okay, we got a lot of Miami news. Buckle up. Let me just remind you. Since then, Alexia's husband filed for divorce, but they were recently spotted heavy on the PDA, so I don't know if they're going to move forward with that divorce. Lisa's ex-husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, his engagement to the other woman is over. They're broken up. Whoa. Surprise. Lisa's still going strong with Jody. We got Larsa shading the hell out of Marcus Jordan. Right? Isn't Marcus? Marcus Jordan on social media. Don't bring him back, Larsa. Please do not even. You could talk about him, but don't bring him back. I don't want a moment with y'all. No. I'd much rather her come back this season. I'm kind of glad that they waited, because now at least that relationship is done. I don't want to. You could talk about it, but that's about it. And him and his book of sugars that he was sniffing when he was in south of France. But Dr. Nicole, I did not expect this. I thought that everyone was going to be returning, because they're supposed to have this sort of like watch party in Miami, and all the housewives from Miami were returning. Well, apparently, according to page 6, all right, page 6 is reporting this. Hold on, let me take this stuff off. Okay, so page 6 writes this in regards to Dr. Nicole. They said Dr. Nicole Martin return to the Real Housewives of Miami is uncertain. they can exclusively reveal the board-certified anesthesiologist, who's 40, was not present for season 7 filming of the Bravo reality series, which we're told began on Tuesday, yesterday. Our insiders say the rest of the last season's full stars, Alexia, Lisa, Larsa, Julia, and Gertie, as well as cast friends Adriana, Marisol, and Kiki, are involved in shooting. We're told a few new faces are expected to film soon too, and the showrunners will decide at a later time who will secure a coveted mojito and who will appear in a part-time role. A lot of people have been saying that they want to see Kiki get a full-time role. Either way, I love me some Kiki. I feel like it doesn't matter to me if you're in a full-time or part-time role, but I know it matters to them because you make more money. I think they all bring something. That's an amazing cast. They've given us 3 stellar consecutive seasons. But Dr. Nicole is not coming back. She just celebrated a birthday. Shout out to all the Virgos. But they're saying reason for Martin's potential departure remain unclear, but she did remove RHOM from her Instagram bio. Reps for Bravo did not immediately respond to our request for comment. But you also may recall that Dr. Martin and her fiancé, Anthony Lopez, who proposed on New Year's Eve 2021, welcomed their second baby, a daughter named Genevieve, in March. Here's the thing. I think they took too long. I think Bravo took too long. I think very similar to what Candy said. She had a lot of time to think about it and not be in the Bravo world. And she decided, yeah, maybe this doesn't fit my life anymore. Remember how much money, first of all, how much money she makes as an anesthesiologist, but also how much money Anthony makes. They have like real cachet. So for some people, it's just not worth it. And the second baby, who knows? That could have changed her whole perspective. And having all of this time to be away from that. Exactly. Sneaker Queen says, and she lost her dad this during last season. You may recall they talked a little bit about that after the season wrap. She lost her father. So her perspective and all this time that has passed since filming wrapped may have changed. Remember, she's a Virgo, she's an earth sign. So, you know, fame and all that stuff is not that important to earth signs like that. She was like, you know what? Let me leave on top. People love Dr. Nicole and what she brought to the show. But will Dr. Nicole be missed? I think she'll be missed. And I love the fact that she's really friends with a lot of the ladies. We literally have seen them all hang out, even when filming is not happening in the last few months. They've all have been meeting up and hanging out with each other. So we shall see. Just because she didn't film this week doesn't mean that she can't film. It's still early. Maybe she'll come on as a friend of. We shall see. We shall see. Exactly. Kalam says, Miami just has the right formula, period. But they lost out on Nicole for sure. Real money. I mean, they all got a little something, but that Nicole money, her and Anthony, that was some money. But maybe they left at the right time. I did want to mention that during our Real Housewives of Dubai recap. We only have one more episode of Dubai, but let's continue in regards to this reunion and what's been happening in this reunion. Guys, if you had to rate the Real Housewives of Dubai reunion from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I thought part 1 was solid. I don't think it was boring. I know some people said that they felt like it was boring. I think it was solid. But at the same time, I didn't love it because I felt like, I don't know, it was a different way, a format that than they normally do for a reunion. Okay. What else did they talk about? Oh, Andy, you thought I was going to forget this. Okay. Because look, for those of you that follow me on Twitter, hey, Twitter. For those of you on Twitter, please understand, once I see a tweet start getting a lot of comments, I put, quote, mute the conversation. So for those of you that don't agree with my stance on how Andy Cohen addressed Caroline Stanbury's wealth versus Monique Samuel's wealth, please understand you're fighting in a room by yourself. I don't see your comments. I don't hear you. You are fighting. Fight your mama, fight your grandmother, fight your ancestors, because you're not fighting with me. I said what I said, okay? So this is what I said on Twitter, and I posted clips. So last night on the Real Housewives of Dubai reunion, people were talking about the whole Michael situation, and then they started talking about, oh, Caroline Caroline's like, I have multiple business. I've always had a business. When she was on Ladies of London, she had a business. Fine. And then she's like, I have multiple businesses. I just don't bring it on the show. Okay, why wouldn't you? Okay. She has multiple businesses. Her and Sergio. The 50-year-old influencer. She's not even 50 yet. So she says, I have multiple businesses. But did you guys notice? I'm going to play the clip. I'm not going to play the video because, copyright. But I'm going to play the clip. Hold on. This is what Andy said.
This is my whole life. Yeah. I run multiple businesses now. I just don't bring it onto the show.
Did you get a big settlement from your ex?
Of course I got money.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you grew up with money.
Yes.
You responded to...
He's assuming she grew up with money. And I think a lot of the fans assume a lot of this stuff as well. And I'm not saying that Caroline Stanbury didn't grow up with money. Clearly she did. Her money might be a little funny. Like her own personal money might be a little funny. When her parents pass on, she might inherit some stuff. Fine. But my beef is not with Caroline Stanbury. My beef is with Andy Cohen. Because he sat there and he gave her so much grace and coddled. She's like, did you get money from your husband? And I assume you grew up with money. Okay, let me play another clip. Let me play another clip for you.
Pandemic has affected your marriages just in terms of the money that you're bringing in, right?
I mean, that little check ain't doing nothing compared to what Chris bring in.
And he's not still bringing in that kind of money. He was.
No, he still is. My husband's done well. His investment portfolio is great. So while you sitting over here having...
No. That was Monique Samuels from the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. A lot of people called out Andy Cohen for his hypocrisy. It's true. It's true, because literally as I'm watching, I'm just like, this is what I'm talking about when people talk about Andy Cohen being biased. Some people are like, why don't you tag him in it? He has to be blocked. I can't tag him. I'm not scared to tag him if I could. Anyways, so for me in that moment, I was like, look at you giving her so much grace. Caroline Stanbury, so much grace in this moment. But you could not give that same grace to this black woman. Things that you need to pay attention to. Things that you should pay attention to. And again, I'm not saying that Caroline Stanbury doesn't have it, but the same grace that you gave to Caroline Stanbury, I believe you got money from your husband, and you grew up with money, so you're fine, you're rich. But I will tell you this. Bravo wants you all to believe that these women are rich and making money. Go check the season 1 recaps. Go check those bad edits. Not everyone on this cast has money. Folks that go to Dubai, money funny, period. Look, I said what I said. I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it. Bravo wants, because that's the whole mystique of Dubai. Everyone has money. Everyone's living this fabulous life. No, they're not. Look, no, they're not. Scammer Central. Scammer Central. Scammer Central, okay? Anyways, we'll move on. We'll move on, all right? I just wanted to point that out. And it's interesting when people move to Dubai. Anyways, moving on. So then they start talking about Brooks being with rich men, and a flashback to the Watch What Happens Live where Taleen was talking about, she sleeps with a lot of rich men. And Brooks says to Caroline Stanbury, because Caroline Stanbury weighs in on it, and she's like, yeah, she's involved with a lot of rich men. And she says to Caroline Stanbury, you know my husband. You know how long I was with my husband. Here's the thing, though, Caroline Brooks. You told us you didn't get a red cent from that man. So what does that mean? What does that mean? And do I think there's anything wrong with it? No. And then he flashed back more unseen footage of this guy she refers to as Shrek buying her gifts and doing all these things. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If they want to give you things like Michael wants to give Stanbury, paying for her lifestyle, if they want to do that for Brooks, what's wrong with it? I mean, she's calling him ugly, and she's basically using him. But if she's not sleeping with him, fine. All right? Well, the last part of the Real Housewives of Dubai, part 1 of the reunion, they talk about Brooks and Taleen's friendship. And Brooks says that she didn't prepare Taleen for this show. Taleen claims that Brooks came in and says, you need to watch Beverly Hills. Brooks, I told you on social media, on Spaces, was like, I don't watch Housewives. And I told you that was a lie. Clearly, I believe Taleen. Brooks was like, I watch this, I watch that. I don't watch Housewives. Yes, you are a Housewives fan. Stop. Okay? Stop it. It's okay. Most of the people on Housewives now are Housewives fans. But Brooks says, that's a lie. I don't watch Housewives. All right? But some people were wondering, did Brooks want Taleen to come in and defend her and be like her mouthpiece? And Taleen says, yeah, Brooks wanted her to come in and take down everybody except Sarah. All right? Wanted to take down Lisa. And Taleen, a couple of times during this reunion, called out this fake friendship and this fake alliance and said to Lisa, watch your back. And I agree. Lisa, watch your back. But Lisa knows what she's doing. Look, come on now. Like, I'm not worried for Lisa because I think Lisa knows exactly what she's dealing with when it comes with Brooks. But it's better to have someone than to be on your own at this reunion. It's better to have someone because can you imagine if they didn't have each other, that they would have been clocking everybody, like fighting everybody. But I could read right through this alliance between Lisa and Brooks. All right. Then they start talking about, okay, sidebar, Brooks, where is the merch? Where is the merch for begging ass bitch? Yeah, where is the merch? Come on. What are you doing? You dropped the ball this season. We should have gotten that merch. Wow, she's going to get the merch by part 2. You better. All right. And so they talk about Taleen begging to be on the show. And Taleen's like, I did not beg to be on the show. She put up a bunch of different friends to be on the show. She said she still had to really think about it before actually deciding to be on the show. And she's like, there's nothing wrong. Andy was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong wanting to be on Housewives. At this particular point, there isn't anything wrong with it. The wrong part is acting like you didn't watch the show and acting like you're not a fan. Brooks. So then they talk about Brooks's fight with Ralphie, who she's known before Taleen, and they've had a good friendship. So they talk about that fight with Ralphie. And Stanbury tries to defend Ralphie in that moment. He was just like, yeah, and then even Ayan, he's like, yeah, Ralphie's a good guy. Ralphie was 2 sheets to the wind. He was drunk. He was being aggressive. I think they edited down what Ralphie said and did. They showed a little bit more of that footage from Ralphie. He was talking all kinds of the cuss words, and his eyes were hanging low like this. And if you're listening to the podcast version, don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. Give us a 5-star review while you're there. His eyes were hanging low like this. Homeboy was 2 sheets to the wind, okay? And he was cussing, all right? So I don't care if they had that sort of friendship. And apparently they had another fight after Taleen's party. They had another fight, Taleen said. And they were like spitting in each other's face kind of thing, fight. So, look, I agree with Andy. Andy says, when men and women fight, it's awkward. It's awkward. Clearly, he's larger than she is. Even if they've been friendly for a very long time, that level of aggression does not need to happen. Fine. Look, fine. So that's how they end part 1 of the reunion. Is this fight between Taleen and Brooks. I don't know if Brooks and Taleen make it to a better place because I haven't really been seeing any of their social media interaction. I don't know if they make it to a better place by the end of the reunion, but I much rather see them have fun like we did those last couple of episodes. And I don't know where they went wrong after filming Wrapped, but here we are. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Mama Ali, thank you for the super chat. She says that new sound effect is going to be the death of me, Kempire. Sorry. I'm not going to be using it. It's literally within this thing here. I don't normally use it. It's not a part of my usual sound machine. Anne Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. Anne Marie says hit previous by accident. What do you mean previous by accident? Did I miss something? Look, did I miss something? All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. You can also support by checking out some of our sponsors like Rose Forever and Coldest. More information on that. And book me. Shout out to all the Virgos that have been booking me for their cameo. They want me to wish them a happy birthday and show them love because I'm always shading the Virgos, okay? Book me on Cameo if you want a personal birthday message, anniversary message, or if you just want me to say woo woo woo. I'm available on Cameo today. More information on everything Kempire will be available in the description. And if you're following me on Twitter and Twitch, and you're following me here on TikTok, just head on over to our Instagram or head on over to our YouTube, and you can find all the links there. Okay? Oh, damn, I'm sorry. It's me. MK says, that sound effect woke my baby up. It's 10 p.m. in Scotland. Sorry, baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ronnie says, if the man doesn't support his wife, you say he doesn't have a spine, and if he does, he's wrong. Here's the thing. You can support your wife, but if you look back at the video footage, he was being somewhat aggressive in the way he was cursing. Aggression doesn't have to be actual physical. It could be the level of your voice and the funk in your voice, okay? All right. All right. Live chat, we're almost at 300 likes. I'm going to post the call-in link for you guys to call, but like the video if you haven't already. Like I said before, it's easy and free. And if you're a member of the channel, we've already dropped the call-in link on the members, on the community tab for members only. All right. So members, you get the first link. All right. All right. Let me drop the call-in link in the live chat. Okay. All right. Live chat. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on the Real Housewives of Dubai's part 1 of their season 2 reunion. Also, let us know your thoughts on Nene coming back to the network. And let me know your thoughts on Dr. Nicole not returning for the new season of the Real Housewives of Miami. That's the word on the street. TikTok, keep tapping your screens. Let's get to 12,000 likes. We appreciate you guys being here behind the scenes. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, Twitter, and on Facebook. Be sure to like us on Facebook, The Kempire, and Kempire Daily on Facebook. All right. We have our members backstage. We see you. We see you. We see you. All right. Let me put up my opinions thingy here to remind you guys. No profanity, no derogatory comments, all that good stuff. All right. Shout out to all our members backstage. We're going to bring them up. We're going to bring up April first. April, what did you want to say?
Good evening, Kempire and chat. So I feel like the reason why everybody's kind of confused about what's going on is because production in the network took so long to get the show back on air. I feel like if they would have did it in that moment, we all would have been able to follow along more coherently and a lot better. What was I going to say? Taleen, I don't know. I feel like her and Brooks, they came in with a plan, and then when she got around the other ladies, she started to like switch up. And there's nothing wrong with like exploring new friendships and, you know, forming your own opinion. It's just she does a lot for me sometimes, and it's like, this is why Lisa bops you more than once during the season. Just sit there, eat your food, and just be quiet. Like, this doesn't evolve you. Sarah, I think she's fake when it comes to her spirituality. Like, I'm not buying it, and I don't blame Brooks for asking for her money back as well, because when I saw that man and his other assistant, I was like, no, I could do a better job of that, and I'm not a Ricky here. We're like, no, go away from me with that foolishness. And Stanbury needs to keep an eye on that friend of hers, because
Michael,
like you said, yes, drinking does tend to like bring out more of what a person is feeling. That's not cool. Like, no one shouldn't be telling me what you're saying about me, and I believe it's more than one person that has said that he said that about them. Shady boots.
Yep.
With Lisa, I know people don't like Lisa. I do like her, and I agree. I don't think she's a villain.
Yeah.
But us Aries, we can't get petty, and we can't get in the mud when needed. And I think that's what's happening, is that she's like, you know what? Okay, the gloves are off. I'm going to be just as petty as you're being. And I think Ayan is also straddling the fence too, because I think she wants to be accepted by the group so badly that it's just causing like a bunch of friction between her and Lisa. But that was it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, April. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome.
Bye. All right. Guys, we're taking callers right now for Real Housewives of Dubai. Don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes. I'm going to do a special episode. I have the Dawn Richard, you remember from Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money. She's suing Diddy. And I have the lawsuit, so I want to read through the 55 pages with you on the podcast. So be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast today. All right, and while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Okay. All right. I need to read through it first. Then I'm gonna do that. All right. O'Shea's backstage. We're gonna bring O'Shea up next. O'Shea, what's going on? What time is it there?
Hey, how are you? It's 11:30.
Oh, okay, not too bad.
No, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm so grateful you always clock Andy's microaggressive behavior each time. Which my only thoughts about the reunion is that it's really time for Andy should at least step back from one of the housewife shows that are predominantly people of color. He doesn't know how to move the conversation forward. His friendships with always the most whitest person on the cast is awkward to watch how he navigates those conversations. And honestly, the majority of us who watch Dubai, the new version of New York and Atlanta, are not white. And it comes across very uncomfortable the way he navigates those conversations. And he needs to allow new blood so that these shows can be revived. And they also need to not take 2 years for season 3 of this to come back as well. Agreed. You can't sabotage. This first episode premiered 7 months before the season started, 1 year after they stopped filming. Like, I don't know. But yeah, those are just my thoughts around this. But all in all, the episode wasn't too bad, but it's a bit too flat, especially when you need to revive. This is supposed to be like the height of Dubai. It's new, it's fresh. I mean, Atlanta at this time. What is the California? I'm forgetting the names. But yeah, at this time, this is supposed to be the peak of the show. It shouldn't be plateauing.
Yeah.
But all right. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, O'Shea. Take care. All right. We're gonna bring up Tyler next. Hold on. Tyler, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm great. So I have to be honest, I haven't watched anything but 2 episodes of Dubai ever. But I do like Lisa Milan. I saw her on College Hill, and I think she's one of the most beautiful women on Bravo, honestly. I do like her, and I like Chanel. I wanted to speak on the Nene thing.
Okay.
I do want to see Nene back on Housewives, but I want them to do what they're forcing, how they're forcing Phaedra on us. We don't want to see her. We actually do want to see Nene. I want to see Nene more in the capacity of traders, and then because she would be amazing on there. I want to see her on. I do think they need to do a ultimate girls trip with the true OGs of Atlanta, and then transition her into being back to Atlanta. I want
Anna
them
sit
to
down
put
with
her
Andy
in other
Cohen.
places.
Anna sit down with Andy Cohen and watch what happens live.
That definitely needs to happen, but I want them to do a more authentic push, not just bam, she's on next season. And one thing I can say about Dubai, I think that it would be good if it had a better lead-in show. I think it needs to be on, well, some people call it Black Sunday, but that's true. It needs to come back when Atlanta, they need to start filming again immediately, and when Atlanta comes back next year, lead it after that. And I think it would be received better if they do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's all.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye.
All right. We have Alex backstage. We're going to bring Alex up next. Hold on, Alex. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire. I wonder, how are you? I heard you moved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I wonder how the ratings were for this episode, because I know I wasn't watching.
We were all watching the debate last night.
Exactly. I was watching an orange tangerine talk about immigrants eating dogs and cats. I was not watching the Dubai debate. Or I mean, the Dubai reunion. That was wild. Did y'all hear that? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
I did TikTok on it in case you missed it, y'all.
You talked about it?
Yeah, yep, on TikTok. And I posted a short here on YouTube, but yeah, I talked about it.
I gotta watch it because insane.
They're eating dogs.
They're eating the dogs and cats. They're stealing the dogs and cats. And then, oh my God. And then when, oh my goodness. And then when they asked him, or when David Muir corrected him, he was like, but I saw it on television. Sir, absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Anyway.
That was far more entertaining than Dubai, I will say that.
Definitely. I felt like this reunion was a little boring. I was a little bored. I was kind of spaced out while watching it. What I did gather was that I'm tired of Taleen and Brooks and their whole little spat. I'm kind of done with it. I feel like we've covered it a lot and it's really boring. Like, we know that Brooks wanted Taleen to be her soldier and Taleen wanted to ingratiate herself into the show so that she could stay longer. We know she's wanted to be on the show for a long time. Let's move forward. I don't know why we need to keep going over the same. It's like, running on a hamster wheel. I want to talk about Ayan and Lisa. Lisa, I feel like, even though she might not be the villain, I feel like she's making herself the villain right now. Not intentionally, but at least for the Joe Schmo Bravo viewer, that she's coming across villainous. The whole victim comment definitely came across villainous. And listen, I think it was expected. I think Bravo and Lisa herself expected that everybody would like her the first season, that she would be a favorite of the cast, and she really wasn't. Let's be honest. Maybe here she was, but in the general scope of people that watch Bravo, she wasn't the favorite.
Yeah.
It was Chanel and it was Caroline.
Yeah.
And I think she's very jealous of Chanel getting all this attention, even though she shouldn't be. I like Lisa. I just think that she's kind of jealous of Chanel. And I don't think she wants Chanel to acclimate with the rest of the girls. I think that's kind of the root of this problem here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, another thing. I'm so upset about, I know I ran over my time, but I am so heartbroken that Nicole is gone. I love Nicole. Nicole is one of my favorite housewives to ever be on the show. I love Nicole. She's so smart. She's so educated. She's so funny. She's so rich. I love it. And she represents Miami so well. Oh, I'm going to miss her. Anyway, all right. Good to talk to you. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, Alex. Bye.
What?
Oh, wait. Alex, what did you say? Hold on. Alex, what did you say at the last part?
I said, watch your cats and dogs.
Oh, goodbye. Ooh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Last night, I posted a tweet saying, these ratings for Real Housewives of Dubai, please give them grace, because literally it was, I don't know why Bravo didn't air them at 8 o'clock or air them on another night, because everybody, even if you you're not into politics, everybody wanted to watch the show that was airing last night in regards to a presidential debate. Maybe I'll do a separate podcast talking about it, because I had opinions. I was tweeting up a storm last night talking about this debate, and I did a couple of TikToks talking about it. But it was interesting. I have to say, Kamala, for me personally, won. And this has nothing to do with Democrat versus Republican. Just seeing these people discuss the issues, one completely avoiding the issue, the other actually reading him for filth, and him not catching on that she's reading you for filth right now by highlighting actual facts. It was clear. I mean, she's also an attorney. She's made for debates, okay? But it was quite entertaining to watch last night, especially when he was spiraling, and especially when she clocked that he was spiraling. I was just like, oh. Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. Since we are talking about that, if you haven't registered to vote, vote.gov. Go register today. All right, November's right around the corner. Right around the corner. Go vote. All right, it's me, MK. We're going to bring up next. MK, what's going on?
Hey.
Sorry to wake up your baby.
About voting, please register to vote. I'm in Scotland, and they're going to be sending me my ballot overseas, so there really is no excuse for folks not to vote.
Exactly.
So a couple of things. I agree with Alex. For me, the reunion was kind of boring. I gave it like a 4. I was not engaged. I was not gagged. The previous episodes have had me like gagging, like waiting for the next episode, and this was just meh. I don't think Lisa is jealous of Ayan, but I think because it's been so long between season 1 and season 2, folks have forgotten that Stanbury did not like Ayan. Stanbury basically was like spreading lies about Ayan and blocking Ayan from interacting with other ladies, and Lisa was the only person who stood 10 toes down for Ayan. So I would also be a bit confused if my friend is now friends with the girl that didn't like her last season, a girl who called me a lady of the night on national TV, a girl who said that my business is using stolen designs. Like, I'd be a little bit confuddled, like, why are you two friends all of a sudden? So I think that's what's hurting Lisa. But just really quickly, I need Lisa to control her emotions. And I believe that Psychic and Bali was correct because Lisa is going off the rails on Twitter. Like she had a whole back and forth with Stanbury about like the Cotswolds.
Oh yes.
And it got to a point where like she was posting like a Wikipedia thing about this place, and I'm just like, girl, take this down. Like you are looking so bothered. You know, like don't let your ops see you sweat.
Yeah. Which I have to say, during the reunion, clearly she wasn't doing that. She was really like in control versus what we see on social media.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happening, and I think she needs to take a beat next season. If not for like just peace, but also like for her business. Like it's not a good look, Lisa, for your business, for you personally, even for your husband. Like it's embarrassing. But her friendship with Ayan, that's dead, that's gone. The way they're talking to each other in this reunion, that friendship is not going to be salvaged. Like you telling folks that I'm taking Ozempic on national TV, we're not friends anymore. Like,
we can get over that.
Keep my business off of TV.
Everybody's on Ozempic.
But don't tell them that. Let me lie and say I'm dieting. Like, don't tell people that. But also, like, what was it? Oh man, I forgot. My baby moved, and I was like, please don't wake up. But yeah, their friendship is dead and gone. And oh yeah, sorry, really quickly. The whole thing about Lisa controlling Ayan, I don't think she's controlling her. Ayan's first language is not English. It's Swahili. I speak Swahili. I sometimes get confused because translating words in your head is a bit much. I think Lisa is sort of like, hey, don't say that on TV. Don't bring that on TV. Like, you look kind of crazy. You're sounding a bit much. And I'm thinking she's taking that as controlling versus, oh, this is your friend who's looking out for you. And it's like, hey, let's not discuss certain things on TV. Like, let's not bring that up on TV. Like, these are real friendships. Like, let's discuss this afterwards. But, like, don't bring, like, let it be light and fun on TV, but not, like, heavy stuff. And I think
which is what Lisa said during the reunion when Sarah called out the fact, well, you said things about Brooks too, and she said that she specifically didn't want to talk about those things on this platform.
Precisely. And Ayan, I don't know if it's a language barrier. I don't know if it's because she's got 2 brain cells. She's just not getting it. But their friendship is dead and gone.
Damn, you're ruthless. Damn, with a baby in hand and everything. Ruthless. All right.
Listen.
Whoa, baby. All right, MK, thank you for calling in. Bye. Y'all are ruthless. Replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. Be sure to let us know where you're watching from, how you would rate the Real Housewives of Dubai Part 1 of their reunion, and your thoughts on what I've said, what the callers have said, and your own thoughts on what you watched. All right. Toya's backstage. We're going to bring Toya up next. Toya, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I didn't watch the reunion, but I did want to comment on everything else this season.
Okay.
I watched. I was really disappointed in how, well, first I'll start with Sarah, because Sarah, ma'am, you are not as love and light as you say. You throw all this shade in the confessionals. She has like a superiority complex. And I don't know if it's because she's the only Emirati woman that's there. It could be. We've seen Lisa, also explain the culture and show respect as well. And she gets no acknowledgement for that.
We do.
Also, you have acknowledged her. Yes, you have. I will say, I don't like how they did her in the finale with the whole Ayan thing. Like your last caller said, if you remember season 1, Ayan had a lot of bloopers in her confessionals because she speaks multiple languages.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to not only learn a language, it's super difficult, but you have to also learn like the colloquialisms and the sayings and, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that Lisa tries to help her because we didn't see that much of those blooper moments with her this season. I think Lisa tries to help her like, oh, don't say those certain things or, stuff like that. Yeah. And I think it came across in a negative way. And I'm sorry, do people not like Lisa?
I was wondering. I feel like I see a mix of both. I see people that love Lisa. I see people that don't necessarily love Lisa. I see people that love Ayan. I also see people that don't love Ayan. I see a mix. I don't really see. It's hard to gauge in this Bravo universe.
I think Lisa's one of the ultimate housewives because gorgeous, has a good-looking husband that is successful and within her same age range. No shade. She has her own successful business that was successful before the show. She has, kids, and she can dress. We have not seen Lisa look bummy or, I'm sorry, she got the look. Her hair, makeup, and outfits are usually always on point. I like Lisa as a housewife in general. I think she has it. Yeah, I don't know why people being so mean to my girl Lisa. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Toya. Take care. I think it's a mix. I've seen really a mix of people that love Lisa, people that don't like Lisa, but that's okay, y'all. It's okay for you to have whatever feelings, but please remember you're watching an edited show, so you really don't have a full depiction on any of these housewives. That's why I don't really have any sort of strong feelings, except Brooks. But at the same time, I don't hate Brooks because I don't know Brooks like that. I've interacted with Brooks briefly, and what I've interacted with, I don't think Brooks is a bad person. I think she has some ways about her, and I'm not sure why she has those ways about her. And I hope for better for her. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I still enjoy Brooks, though. I do enjoy Brooks. But some of the things that I've seen her do on Twitter, I'm like, I wouldn't trust Brooks, though. Don't get me wrong. I would not trust her with anything, like a secret, nothing. Not trusting her. But anyways, let me bring up Yolissa next. Yolissa, what did you want to say about the Real Housewives of Dubai?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So first I wanted to say I was actually surprised because I wanted to see what Taleen's dress looked like because on camera, in the photo, it looked really stiff and cheap. But then on video, it looked really nice. I was like, okay, girl, different. Yeah, I was very surprised. Brooks, she scared me the way that she just denies, like clueless as to what she was doing. I did get when she finally admitted she was like, okay, I'm overwhelmed and business and all that stuff. But I was like, I wish you just owned that you're the villain instead of acting like
innocent.
Instead of acting like you didn't go to Stanbury's house with the sage and the uninvited guest and go over when Taleen and Rafi were, I don't know, probably both very lit, but having their own moment. What are you doing? Walking over to the husband and the wife. I just was like, whoa, okay, girl. Definitely not someone I'd hang out with in real life, but okay.
Me either. Or turn my back on her.
I was like, whoa. Huh?
Or turn my back on her.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I just, whoa. And then with Lisa, sorry, just to say this, I'm thinking something's going on with Lisa because the digging that she's doing, unless she's really, really, really hurt by this whole Stanbury Ayan thing, I feel like I've never seen her go this low. Because she knows what she's doing. If you're friends with Ayan, you know that using victim, it's a jab. It's like a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that she's going about it, I'm really, is she okay? And I've been wondering all season. Because I'm I get it. You could go, you could go toe to toe with anyone, but there's something else that's just not, that I'm not seeing and that I feel like we're missing.
Yeah.
So hopefully we maybe get some resolution because I don't want to see their friendship fall apart, you know?
Especially if it was a real friendship before the show.
Yeah. If it was a real friendship, I'm really? Did they really orchestrate all this? What is going on? But then she did mention that she was dealing with her brother having passed away and that her mom's not around and maybe changes. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Possible.
Those are my thoughts.
Yolissa, thank you for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we're going to take a couple more calls, but then I'm going to wrap it up. But if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on the Real Housewives of Dubai's part 1 of their reunion. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget you can hear an audio version. Not me slurring my words. Uh-oh. What's in my water bottle? No, I have a list. Okay. Don't forget you can hear an audio version of our podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. A rating of the podcast is important so we can continue to build on multiple platforms because you just never know. The YouTube could be here and it could be gone tomorrow, God forbid, but you just never know. So make sure you're following us everywhere, including on social media, our TikTok, our Twitter, our Instagram. Everything is at TheKempire. More information on everything Kempire will be in the description, including our cameo. If you want a birthday wish or an anniversary wish, or you just want me to say, twerking on the fence. Something. I don't know. All right. Anyways, let's get to our last couple of callers. And don't forget to say thank you to our King's Guards in the live chat as well, guys. They're holding us down there as well. De Lachey, we're going to bring you up next. De Lachey, what's going on?
That's me.
What's going on?
Nothing. All right. So, like you, Kempire, I actually watched the reunion, and I agree. I enjoyed it with a good midday snack, a foot bath. It did what it needed to do. Not too much, maybe not enough, but it was just right in a sweet spot for a part 1. And I love that they're not dragging it out for a part 3 because ain't nobody got time for that. No. I do feel like the Taleen and Brooks storyline was dragged like a unwanted high note from Candy Goat Throat Purist. I was just like, please let it end. I have a headache. I'm aching like my tooth. But the Chanel, my fellow Gemini, we live for her, okay? And I live for all of her black girl quirky. Like, I just feel like we need more of that in our lives. And low-key, that's why I like this franchise more than RHOA, because that's just gotten to, like, really dark and nasty place. And, again, we don't got time for that. Like, we're in a recession. We're just coming out of the Punani press. Like, nobody wants that. Next, Lisa. Okay, so real quick, let me do my big one with Lisa, because I feel like with the Brooks and the Lisa situation, I feel like it gives like TV villain versus real villain. You know what I mean? Like Brooks gives TV villain. That's why we didn't get anything from her in the reunion, because she needs a prepared read. She needs a good gay girlfriend who's telling her what to say, a clap back and a libation, and then she's good to go. Versus Lisa, say what you want, but that's why we have iconic quotes, which is very impressive for it just being season 2 of Alexander McQueen versus Alexander Sheen. Okay, like that's iconic, but it also gives real mean girl realness, right? Like she is giving that, and I feel like that's what we saw at the reunion, which is why everybody's like, eek, no bueno, give it back, right? Because it's like, it was just giving nasty. Like the fact that it's like, all right, like it is a show, it is entertainment. For a little bit, it's kind of like you have to say yes, like improv, right? It's like, all right, it's a joke. Yeah, she does look great, and then get her with the shade. You can't say anything nice about anybody. Like, who pissed in your water? What's that? You know what I mean? Like, it'll get out of here with that. But and even like when we saw her get, I know I'm funny, right? Even when we saw her. Giving you real New York. Even with the what was I gonna say? I know I'm about to put in my little cash app so y'all can send me a coin. But even with the no, but even with the Chanel Ayan situation, we did see her being somewhat of a mean girl, because all right, maybe Ayan didn't clock it in the beginning but when somebody is your friend or even your partner, I don't want to just say boyfriend, shout out to the LGBTQ. If somebody is your boo thing, you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because you're like, nah, they want to do that to me, you know? And especially if you have experienced some kind of form of trauma, you really, you know, it's like that freeze moment, right? You just don't know until you get a moment with yourself or somebody new, like she had with the opportunity of being with Stanbury private, that you're kind of like looking at it like Princess Jasmine, a whole new world. Like you're like, okay, maybe it's giving something different, you know what I mean? And last thing about Lisa, I know I gotta go. Sorry to end y'all joyful delight with me on this line, but the last thing about Lisa is the whole pretty privilege thing. I think people are seeing the forest from the hills a la a Kenya Moore, where because it is so mean girl, is giving like, you can see like the potential problematic petty. Like we all do love a little petty, because who's not watching it for the petty? Like nobody has time for that. You want to be able to talk about some things at the end of the day. But like, because it's just giving problematic petty arc, like she really isn't her villain ever, like somebody else said. It's like, ooh, again, do we want the nastiness? We already got to deal with Kenya Moore almost shutting down a new season of RHOA. We had to deal with the iconic Nene Leakes, which love Nene Leakes, icon, a legend. She is the moment, right? Hence why NBC is getting her back, which none of us foresaw. But it's like, it did get to a nasty and dark place. And like Lisa was saying, it's only season 2. So for her to try to chin check Taleen, and that way Andy, it's her first season. Bitch, you barely just got out of season number 1 of your reunion. Calm down. It's just like things like that. It's hard to find a redeemable moment. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, but shout out to Lisa. Shout out to you. You keep doing your big one. I love you for the move. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Thank you, De Lachey. De Lachey is so New York, and I love that for us. Shout out to all the callers. We're going to bring up our last caller. Alex, call back in. Obviously, Alex has something that he wants to say. Alex, what did you want to say? You'll close this out.
Hold on, sorry, I forgot I was muted. Oh my God, what is a punani press?
Dude,
Someone
repeat
explain
it.
to me what is a punani press.
No, stop repeating it. See, now your cell phone's messing up.
Actually amazing.
There we go.
Anyway, I wanted to talk. I forgot to mention my girl that I've ridden with for years, Nene Leakes, has secured a bag. Finally, we know she's been dry and waiting for a bag for a while now. It's been a couple years, but she got the bag with E! News, and hopefully she can come back on a girls' trip. I just want to see her on a girls' trip, and I want to see Fashion Police again. I love Fashion Police, and I miss Joan Rivers, and I just want to see Fashion Police. I don't need to see her on Atlanta. I don't know if we even need to see Atlanta at this point, but I just want to see her in the other shows, in The Traders, in Girls' Trip, in Fashion Police, in those kind of shows.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just saw that word again, and it's making me laugh.
Stop.
Yeah. And to be clear, I'm not saying that Lisa is disliked by everybody, but I think that the non-Twitter, the non-online Bravo fans, the older Bravo fans do not like Lisa. I just think that. I really do. I think the non-Twitter Bravo fans don't
I will
like
say
her.
that the comment section is very different from platform to platform. Like Twitter is one thing, and Instagram and TikTok are another thing.
That's very true.
And YouTube is another thing.
True. Yes. That's very true. So yeah, I'm just saying the disconnected fans, really. Yeah, I think that's it. I was just kind of cackling to myself a little bit about how Trump was talking about the whole thing about I don't have a plan. I have concepts of a plan. Get out of here. Get out. Just get out. Just leave. Take your things and leave. Take your briefcase. Get out. Goodbye. Take your briefcase. Take the orange makeup. Take the self tanner. Get out. We're done.
That self tanner's a mess. All right.
Anyway, bye, Kempire. Sorry for calling you.
Bye. All right. I really could talk all about that debate last night, but it was, I know we shouldn't be laughing about it because this is the state of our country. However, it was interesting. And this is another reason why you should follow me on Twitter, because I was giving you commentary on Twitter last night as I was watching that before I even watched Dubai. Thank you all for those of you that called in. You guys made me laugh. You gave me different perspectives. You gave your perspective. Please understand here, we do not moderate adults. So replay crew, don't fight with each other based on other people's opinions. Allow people to have their space and their opinion and give them grace. And look, we don't know these people. We're watching an edited show. So we can only speculate on what we're watching. And we have to remember that the narrative that's being painted here is the narrative of producers and the network. Don't forget, the network plays a part. Producers are filming the information, but the network decides what story they want to tell. I think that's really important because I know we blame production a lot, but we have to keep in mind there is the network saying, we want to focus on these particular people. Keep that in mind. Like I said before, there's not anyone on this cast that I don't like, and I feel like they should not come back next season if they get another season. But I can see everyone's perspective. Look at me, here I go twerking on the fence. I can see people's perspectives on Lisa, and I can see people's perspectives on Ayan. So far, look, speaking of the network, I do believe the network were like, a lot of people did not love Caroline Stanbury last season. Let's give her a great edit this season. She got a really great edit. She's skating through this reunion. She even admitted that herself, like she really had no beef to handle during this reunion. So she's skating through very easy this season. And she's a Taurus, so she prefers that. Look, we don't want the drama, okay? We don't want the drama. Either way, Nora says, did y'all hear about the Shannon Sharp audio? He said that he's been hacked, okay? He said that he's been hacked. I can't wait to bring back Tuesday Takeover. Give me a couple more weeks, y'all. I'm still figuring out last minute appointment. Give me October. We'll try and bring back Tuesday Takeover so we can talk about all the hot topics and reality TV stuff. And maybe Thirsty Thursdays. I got to give myself a break. I can't be live all the time. But we are live today, and I appreciate you all being here. Be sure to check out the video that I just dropped on Dawn Richard from Danny DeCane suing Diddy, accusing him of all kinds of things and confirming that she also witnessed Cassie's abuse. Go check out that video. Go give it a like. Go give it a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you want to hear me talk about page by page the lawsuits, 55 pages. Excuse me. Anyways, guys, shout out to our King's Guards. Shout out to our channel members. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. And for the merch, houseofkempire.com. Everything Kempire, including our Rose Forever sponsors and our Coldest Water sponsors, are available in the description. Kempire10 for 10% off at coldest.com. All right, y'all. I'm getting out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday already. Where did the time go? Like summer, right? Bye.